Hey everyone, and welcome back to another segment of Hanging Out for a Living. I'm your host, Teresa Oshman, and today I get to hang out with someone who truly understands the power of being in the right rooms, or in this case, on the right podcasts. Christelle Biiga, did I
Yes.
say that? Did I get it right? Okay.
Yes. Told you you get it right.
You did. Thank you. Um, it's a little off the cuff here, but I've been practicing with her a little bit. I just wanted to make sure I got it right. So, all right. Well, Crystal is known as your podcast matchmaker. She helps 6 to 7 figure experts build authority, expand their visibility, and turn podcast appearances into real revenue, not just vanity metrics. What I love about Crystal's work is that she doesn't just help people, to get booked, right? She helps them be strategic about where they show up. How many times have we said, geez, I'll never get that hour of my life back, right? So she helps you avoid that. And also how people show up and how each conversation continues working long after the recording is done. So if you've ever thought, I should probably be on podcasts, but I don't even know where to start, or I'm doing all this talking but not seeing the return, this conversation is for you. Crystal, I'm so glad to be hanging out with you today.
I'm happy to be here too. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Well, let's dive into our questions. So let's start with your story. What was the moment or season, if you will, that made you realize podcast guesting wasn't just about visibility, but could actually be a powerful income and authority building strategy?
Actually, it was early on when I started my coaching business back in 2019. I understood that, I need to get in front of the right people if I want to get clients. And that's this definitely started getting on podcasts. I had no clue how to do that, to be honest with you. And I asked around, and people told me nobody would want to have you on a podcast yet. You don't even have a website. Okay, newsflash, I figured it out anyway. I got on podcasts and a lot of them. So it was really early on my journey. I understood, right? It's important to be in front of the right people. I had social media accounts, but not really following there. And even the people that were following me there, that were my friends, were not really my ideal clients.
Yeah.
So I understood that I needed to be in the right rooms, as you mentioned at the beginning, but really in front of the right people, the people who needed what I had to offer. So that's why I decided to get on podcasts. And as I mentioned, I figured out how to get on it. That's why I know the system today to do it for other people. But I've got in so many podcasts over time that I was able to understand which ones are really worth your time if your intention is to grow your business through that avenue, right? Which ones are worth your time? How you should do it in a way that works over time so that it doesn't become a full-time job. Because at some point, I'm going to tell you, my calendar look like I'm just a podcast guest for a living, right? I had so many interviews, but then that I was able to understand that you don't have to be everywhere. You don't have to be on every podcast out there. You have to be more strategic about it. So I
Right.
started being more strategic and I started seeing more results. As a matter of fact, fun story, one of my clients was actually a podcast host who interviewed me. That was interesting. So, yeah, so definitely podcast guesting has always been part of my journey as an entrepreneur or a coach. And, so yeah.
Talking with you, it seems like it's also like part of your DNA.
Mm. Maybe, who knows? Maybe I should check that.
Yeah. Do they have a test for that? I don't know.
I'm sure there's an app for that.
Oh, there's got to be. And if not, we should invent it. A lot of people think if I just get on more podcasts, everything will fall into place. And I know you touched on this a little bit, but from your experience, what's the biggest mistake people make when it comes to podcast guesting?
Biggest mistake people make is really to not have a strategy behind it,
Ah,
right? Just getting on podcast for the sake of saying that, oh, I did it. I checked the box. They said you should be on more stages. I got on more podcasts. Check box. That's not how you get results from it. Okay. You might
right,
get some results, but if you really have a goal to reach,
right.
let's say this year, you say in 2026, I need to have my message in front of this number of people because I know from that level of audience, I can get this many clients and have my revenue reach this level, you have to be more strategic. You have to have a strategy in place. So that's the biggest mistake people make. They think just getting on podcast, being interviewed will do the trick. Doesn't work that way. We wish it was that easy, but it's not. It requires you to really be intentional about it. First step, research the right shows. As I mentioned, you don't need to be everywhere. You don't need to say yes. Sometimes I hear people, oh, people reach out and I just say yes. You don't have to say yes to all the shows. If again, your intention is to grow your business, you don't
Right.
want to say yes just because, okay, they hand you a mic, you have to say yes. It has to align. Fun story, yesterday I had a conversation with a friend who was also a coach, and she said to me, oh, I noticed that my VA, because some people have that, they have to ask their VA to pitch them to shows. Your VA is not trained for that, so they're just gonna do it as a task without strategy behind. So her VA booked her on a podcast. She did the interview, and then she started wondering because of the conversation she had with the host, why was I on this show? Anyway, let me check. So all of the both of us yesterday, when I tried to say, give me the name of the show. So I checked it. I was like, well, I'm not sure why you're on this show, kind of random. So she's like, let me message her and ask her why she thought I should be a fit for this show. So the first step is really to research the shows.
Right.
Don't go to any show. Research the shows and ensure that there is an alignment between that audience, the audience that you serve, that audience is truly interested in your message and your offer.
Right.
Once you
Exactly.
establish that, first thing, when you establish that, now you reach out. You have to reach out to those hosts. You have to figure out how to reach out. Some hosts, you don't have their emails out there to just pitch them, especially top chair shows. They have so many demands that it takes time sometimes to find the right avenue to find
Absolutely.
their email or find their application form to apply for a show. Once you apply, you need to follow up because guess what? They receive a lot of pitches in a day. So you don't think I'm so fabulous that the moment they read my pitch, they will love me and they will say, come on. They might not see your email the first 2 days or three. So you want to
Right.
follow up and you have to
Absolutely.
keep track on your efforts because if not, you will forget from interviews, the opportunities will fall through the cracks, follow up. And then when you get a booking, prepare for that interview, really review the show, check, even listen to one episode and ensure, try to have the feel of the host, connect with them. And when you go on the show, be intentional. What are you going to
Right.
share with the audience that you believe is going to be valuable? And what do you have to offer? What is the call to action? Yes, you are going there to share your expertise, maybe your story, and it's helping people, is inspiring, and all of the things. But again, you have a business to run, so you want a call to action, whether it's join my Facebook group or download my freebie. If it's a freebie, you want to make sure that the freebie is valuable because
Right.
guess what? People can download it if it's not valuable, they unsubscribe. So you want
Exactly.
to really, from the get-go, show them the value you bring to the table. And after the interview, that's another piece that people miss. They think, oh my gosh, the host will have to promote me because I was so fabulous. Yes, you were fabulous. Yes, the host will promote because it's their show, that anyway.
Sure.
But you also want to promote your interviews. You want to share it with your audience and you want to share it maybe with prospects. With
Right.
your audience is critical because that audience, some of them are following you or reading your things, but they still haven't pulled the trigger. But when
Mhm.
they start seeing you in some type of shows and hear what you share there, they might pull the trigger because now your credibility has increased in their minds.
Right.
Even the listeners of that show that didn't know you before because they got 30 minutes with you, hearing your story, your journey, how you help other people, your credibility grows fast and the trust grows fast in their mind. And if you're listening to this, you're in business, trust is critical, right? For people
Absolutely.
to buy from you,
Absolutely.
they need to trust you. And podcast has that magical way of establishing that trust fast. Because let's say if you introduce me to your audience, Teresa, you took time to build that relationship with your listeners, so they trust you. When
Right.
you bring me on, they trust that I know what I'm talking about because you
Right.
cannot bring me on if I don't.
Right.
So I borrow
Exactly.
your trust. Now they listen to me with knowing that I'm an expert, right? So that's why you want to get on strategic shows like that. And promotion, in terms of promotion, repurpose. And sometimes people struggle with creating content. How when you get on podcast, it makes it so easier. You have interviews that you can recreate, use as reels. use as blog posts. Like you
Oh,
can do so
absolutely.
many ways with your interviews. And for prospects, guess what, Teresa? Imagine someone maybe sees your post and reach out in DMs and ask you a question, and you touch on that on a podcast. You say, you know what? I answered that question extensively on this interview. Take a listen. It's probably a minute 10, and then let me know if you get the answer you're looking for. Then you cycle back and say, what did you think? Do you think that person will trust you more? Because now they say, hey, guess what? They interviewing her, so she must know what she's talking about.
Right,
So it makes
exactly.
the
Huge.
sales easier, right?
Mhm. Absolutely.
So that's why I say that's the biggest mistake people make. They don't have a strategy behind their podcast guesting efforts.
Absolutely. No, excellent, excellent advice. Thank you. You talk a lot about turning interviews into a visibility machine. You just touched on that, right? About sharing and all that. Can you walk us through what that actually looks like? I mean, how one conversation, and again, you touched on it a little bit, can keep working for someone long after the episode airs. And I know you shared a little bit, but can you
Mhm.
expand on that just a tiny bit more?
Yes, absolutely. So I will share exactly what we do for our clients because it is something that we do for our clients, right? So when we receive the interview from the host, what
Mhm.
do? We cut short clips from that key moments
Okay.
where the guest, our client, is sharing something important that ties into their expertise, and that we know that prospects or potential clients will see that, oh my gosh, this is the answer to my prayer. We got those critical moments in the interview. We share them on social media with a caption giving a brief overview of what the conversation is about, and of course, what the expertise of that client of ours is. And we share the link to the full conversation in the comments. We do that in a few, with few different clips. But
Sure.
something most importantly that we do beyond social media is that we create a web page that can be hosted either on their website,
Okay.
or if they don't have a website, we can create a web page anyway where we post clips of that interview or different interviews they do, and we create blog posts from those clips that we create and frequently ask questions.
Okay.
That does two things, right? The blog post is good for SEO because we know
Yes.
how we write it in a way that really boosts their SEO. And when we add the frequently asked questions on the page, and I'm hoping people are taking notes to be able to do it. As I
Yeah.
mentioned, we do it for our clients, but if
Yeah.
you don't want to do it yourself, you do it yourself. That's cool. So when you add the frequently asked questions on those pages where you write the blog post, it helps you start being seen and found by AI, because we know that people ask AI now before they ask Google. And even when you ask Google, sometimes the first answer is AI generated.
AI. Oh, yeah. Hmm.
Exactly. So you want AI to start quoting you, quoting what you said. How does that happen? People have conversations with AI, with ChatGPT, with Gemini, with
Oh,
Grok. They go ask questions. So your frequently asked question has to be written with that in mind. The type of questions that your ideal clients can be asking AI. And when AI scrolls the internet to look for those answers, because yes, AI doesn't make it up. They scroll the internet to look for those answers
right.
fast and bring it back to you. You want those pages to be readable by AI first. And when AI goes there to look for answer, you want those answers to be there on your website, on your web page, so that they say, hey, guess what? Teresa shared that on her. And now people are like, who is Teresa again? Let
Yeah.
me check her out. And sometimes AI even give you a website, or it says where you said it. So now you're having that traffic coming over time. And years after you stepping up your game in terms of your visibility, not really just depending on human, but really leveraging AI, because AI is not going back. We're not going back.
No. Mm-mm.
Just getting bigger and bigger. And you definitely want to be ahead of that curve where AI sees you as the expert. And when people in your niche are looking for answers, AI says you have those answers.
It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Thank you. So, our very last question, for someone listening who feels stretched thin, running a business, serving clients, managing life, but knows they need to be more visible, what's the smartest first step they can take without adding more overwhelm to their plate?
Well, can I be honest?
Please, yes.
Hire me because I do it for my clients.
There you go.
I mean, yeah, that's the only reason why we do it done for you. because we understand that our clients already have a business to run, they
Mhm.
already have clients to serve, they have a life to live. So who wants one more thing to do? Nobody, not
Right.
me.
I
So that's
agree.
why we have that. But beside the people who are like, okay, Christelle, you know what? Take it, do it for me. I also have a downloadable
Okay.
that usually I sell for $27, but for your audience, they can get it for free with the code authority. And that freebie has, I mean, it's not a freebie, it's $27, but for them it's going to be free. And there is a step by step. Everything that I shared here go into details in
Okay.
that document, right? We share the importance of podcast guesting, how to do your research, where to research shows, how to evaluate shows, what to do to prepare for into how to pitch, really how to even pitch
Ah,
the host in a
okay.
way that helps you get yeses. And there is an AI agent attached to the pitching section that helps you write those pitches faster and more effectively. And then there is also the strategy in the back of how to repurpose those interviews. So that's probably another next step after not hiring me. You can download that. It's again, with the code authority, you can get it for free.
Oh, perfect. Thank you so, so much. Crystal, I have to tell you, this has been such a great conversation. And I really love how intentional and strategic your approach is. Wow. And
Yeah.
how you help people turn visibility into like absolutely real momentum. So, for everyone watching or listening, if this sparked ideas or got you thinking differently about podcast guesting, you'll find Crystal's contact information and links in the description of this video. So be sure to connect with her and explore the work she's doing, which is absolutely brilliant. And also for that download, we'll have that information in the description as well. And Crystal, thank you so much for your generosity with giving that away. And so, folks, if you enjoyed this conversation, I'd love for you to subscribe to the channel, share this episode with someone who could use it. And thank you so much for taking the time to hang out with us today. I truly appreciate everyone being here, and I'm looking forward to hanging out with everyone again soon on another episode of Hanging Out for a Living. Crystal, thank you again so much for hanging out with me today, and
Thank you
everybody,
for inviting me, Teresa. It was a
absolutely.
pleasure. Thank
Thank
you.
you. All right, bye, everybody. We'll see you on another segment. Bye bye.